What's going on, everybody? What's going on? And welcome to We Ain't Goes. I thought I'd be Ted's two teeth today to bring it in. So
Yeah, Tez of two teeth. Yeah, I heard
I did
that.
not say two teeth.
Tez of too
Ted's
deep.
too deep.
Yeah, I already know what you tried to do.
Bruh,
So
we got the same teeth. Look,
I know, but
what
I
are you
hope
talking
you
about?
I hope you get a kick out of that or whatever. Because I was like, oh, okay, I see what you
What's
was trying to
going
do.
on? I don't have a radio voice, y'all, at all.
Nah, you good. You
All
did.
right,
You
but
did great. You did great. You did
thanks,
an
babe.
excellent job.
I
Excellent job.
am Hype Wife, and this here is
Tez
Tez of Too Deep.
Yeah, Tez of too deep. What's going on, everybody?
See?
how's everybody doing? I hope
How
everybody
y'all
is.
feeling?
Yeah, I hope everybody's having a great night. As we always say when we start off the show, make sure you have your drink of choice or whatever you want to do.
Let's talk about ours today.
Okay, what you got today?
Okay, so we still are on the Stella Rosa train because nobody else has told us anything different. Actually, we have had Sweet Marcella, like we've had it. That used to be our staple, but we on Stella.
Okay, cool.
Today we have Stella Rosa Gold.
Gold.
Okay, so we never had the gold one before.
Uh-huh.
The bottle's cool. Like,
okay, all right, but they ain't paying us,
I
but that's
know,
cool.
but,
all right,
you know,
yeah,
just a
they
little
ain't
bit.
paying us. Once they pay us, then we can do all that.
But it tastes like the regular Moscatos, y'all. It's not anything different.
Yeah,
it's $2 more than like
the regular stuff.
the regular ones.
Okay,
but just you can get the regular stuff.
But ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, you
But it
know,
still
you
tastes
tried
good.
and we got it. We got that going. So let me ask you a quick question though, babe. Before we get started, we always let the people know how you can subscribe to our pages. So make sure you go to YouTube. We are actually live on YouTube right now, and we're live on our Facebook page. So what we want you to do is make sure that you subscribe to both of those pages and follow those pages, because we are continuously trying to grow and continuously trying to reach more couples, reach more people, and reach more everybody that is involved, that wants to be involved with the We Ain't Goes. Okay.
Yes. Also Instagram, same We Ain't Goes. What else? You can find us on Spotify,
Yes,
as well as Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
Anchor.
Yeah, and
wherever you listen to podcasts.
And what's so amazing is that as soon as this is over, we usually upload it to our Anchor account, and Anchor is immediately available. And then I want to say maybe about, I don't know, another day, a few hours later, then it ends up popping up on Spotify, and it pops up on Apple Podcasts as well. So we doing big things, y'all. We doing big things. And this live, like I said before, we are live on YouTube right now. So if you comment from YouTube, we appreciate it as well. And you know, I always do this every single time. I want to let people know where you can get your workout on. Okay, so let me turn it over to the hype wife right now. And can you tell them, like, if you're trying to get, like, you know, get your dance on, get your groove on a little bit, and still work out some cardio, what can you do? What is something that you can do?
Well, you can go to at number 2 BAD Zumba.
Okay, too bad Zumba.
On Instagram, Facebook, schedules there, but I am at 960 Ellison Avenue.
Okay.
And that's on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Tuesdays and Thursdays is virtual, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
And Saturday mornings at the YMCA, 1720 West Broadway at 9 a.m.
Awesome sauce. And I also wanted to let you all know that if you wanted to do that class, please make sure that you contact some of the people that are involved. She takes pictures of all the people that are involved, and they have an excellent time at Zumba class. What you got to say?
Yes, I was just going to segue into that.
Okay.
Before we get to you, we were going to segue into our local loot segment, which I wanted to shout out RS Photography. So Renisha Stewart Photography. That is where I teach Zumba on Mondays and Wednesdays. So that again is 960 Ellison Avenue here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Make sure you do that. She takes excellent pictures as well.
Oh,
If you want to get
yes.
some great pictures, we'll post some pictures that she took that she has taken with us, and just make sure that we share the love all over the city, man. That is what
Yes.
it's all about. She's a wonderful person. She is our soror as well,
Mm-hmm.
and
See,
we
right?
just want to make sure that we get her name out there. And if you need some pictures, make sure you go to Renisha Story.
Yes, we just got headshots done.
Yep, headshots. Pow,
Yeah, my
pow.
headshots everywhere
Sorry.
now. Like I changed it for work. I changed it for school.
Uh huh.
I changed it in my Google account.
Go and talk to him, girl.
I changed it as a Zeta pick as
Zeta
well.
Phi
Hey,
Beta.
hey, hey,
Oh, I'm
hey,
sorry.
chill
Okay,
out,
okay.
cuz.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I just really like this song. It's a cool song.
Yeah,
Uh
so I changed it a bunch of different places. So I'm getting great use out of the product. She is
yes.
amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's family pictures as well. Anything that you need, she is your
Uh,
person for it.
Also, our We Ain't Ghost picture, like
Absolutely.
those are from Renisha Stewart
Yep, our We
Photography.
Ain't Ghost pictures. That's where they came
Mm-hmm.
from. And I also want to let you know that if you want to listen to some amazing hip hop and R&B music, there's a guy that you
Mm-hmm.
should be listening to on iTunes, Spotify, and all that good stuff. He goes by the name of Tez of
Pew, pew, pew,
Too Deep.
pew.
Okay, so Tez of Too Deep. Make sure you listening to everything. Finally Free is up. BLM is up. Black Boy Joy is up. So many choices that you can listen to and get your motivation on. And also we got the By the Horns EP with Semi as well that is out as well. So please make sure y'all check up on the music. The music is absolutely incredible. And we have one more announcement, and that announcement is thank you all for participating in the August 22nd backpack giveaway.
Yes,
It
it
was,
was so
yeah,
successful.
so successful.
We ran out of regular backpacks that
Yup,
we
yup.
had. So we had 120 actual backpacks, but then we
We
did
got a
have a
little bit more than
donation.
that actually.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
true. We had purchased the 120. Well, Phi Beta Sigma purchased the 120, and then we
Okay.
had an additional um maybe 50 or 60 backpacks just throughout the
It was
community.
a lot. Yeah.
And then we had actual bags
Yep.
just with actual tote bags
Yep.
with school supplies in it as well. So we got rid of more than
Yeah,
200
it was a lot. And shout out
bags
to
of
all
school
the families that
supplies.
actually stopped by. We had some of our supporters from We Ain't Gold stop by as well.
Mm-hmm.
So please make sure, anytime we're doing some community service around, please make sure that you check us out and tune into some of the community service work. But I just personally want to thank everybody that was involved. That's Phi Beta Sigma, that's Zeta Phi Beta, that is I Am Royalty, that is the I Support Test team.
Quinn
Shout out to,
Chapel.
yes, Quinn Chapel, Greater First Timothy Baptist Church. So many churches donated, and there are wonderful people in this world who donated supplies, money, cashed app. I mean, they did a lot of things to make
Mm-hmm.
that happen. So I can't.
JCPS Friskies.
Yes. Shout out
Mm-hmm.
to everybody who donated something. JCPS Family Resource Coordinators, they came out and
Thanks for
volunteered
breaking that down because
as
not
well.
everyone
Are you
knows.
okay? Family Resource Coordinators came out as well to participate in that event. So shout out to them. But yes, everybody who donated something, I really want to shout out you all. Thank you so much. I don't care if it was $5 to $50 to $100.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what the price was. You donating something helped us give a family a backpack. And then I also have to shout out Until Freedom. Until Freedom allowed us to get 25 food boxes to
Of
give
produce,
away,
and we
the
gave those
produce to
away.
give away to the first 25 families as well. So it was absolutely amazing. So shout out to everybody that came through and was paying attention, that donated and helped us make that great. So thank you so much. And now it is time to get to the topic of the hour. Okay, the topic of the hour. So make sure if you're on Facebook or you on YouTube right now, this is the time to press the share button. Okay, it is time.
Sharing is
Yes,
caring.
sharing is caring. It is about to go down because we are going to have our parenting chat right now. We're going to talk about parenting. Okay, now this is going to
Mm.
get really interesting because we're going to go from different ways of how we parent. Maybe we're just going to have a nice conversation about that. And I think the first start that we want to get at, and you guys could comment, feel free to comment all day, all night I should say. Make sure you have your wine. That's right, make sure you have your wine or whatever your drink of choice is. And if you got a little snack, that's fine too. We're going to talk about parenting. And the first question that I wanted to raise is, babe, how were you raised as a kiddo?
Okay. Well, my mom and dad were married
Uh-huh.
before they had me, but they got a divorce when I was about maybe 3 or 4.
Okay.
So I don't remember much of that. But um so I was raised in two households pretty much. So
Okay.
summers I'd be with my dad, and most of the school year, of course, with my mom.
Okay.
I'm my mom's only child, as we talked about before, but I have an older sister from my dad and a little sister as well from my dad's stepbrother, and then also a stepbrother on my mom's side as well. So,
Okay. So how were you raised though? Like, what was some of the
um,
things that you learned? Some of the things that they taught you? Whatever the
you
case
know
may be.
what? I was such. I hate saying this because people just truthfully, I wish my parents weren't here. I was really a good kid. I did not have a whole bunch of issues. My mouth was slick for sure. But as far as like doing all this sneaking out the house and doing all of that kind of
Mm,
stuff, I don't have wild stories like that because I wasn't
mm,
there.
mm.
But um, my mom, I don't know, school was just the main thing for us. Like, you know how you used to tell CJ, like, school is your job?
Uh-huh.
That's literally what I was told.
So you was right. Education is key in this household.
Yes, like
Okay.
that is the rule. You gonna go to school, you acting up at school, forget it. Like,
Then something's gonna happen to you.
forget it. Just forget it. Like,
Okay.
there's no way.
Okay.
Um, yeah. I don't
Well,
know. I had pretty much routine, go to school, go to step practice. This is at high school at that point or middle school, and go to work because I had a job in high school. That was a thing too. And then come home. Like,
okay.
that's pretty much it.
All right. So I mean, I guess how I was raised as a kiddo, I was raised as I felt like I was a spoiled brat, first of all. I didn't know that growing up, but now that I look back, I was a spoiled brat. Also, I was the center of attention. I always felt like I needed attention and all of that other stuff. So my mom did a great job of making sure I had the attention, and shout out to my uncle Gary as well. They always made sure I had some type of attention. Something was always going on with me, and I think as a kid, I didn't necessarily know that. I just was just going with the flow. So I was kind of raised upon, I was a spoiled brat, but then it got to the point where education again was absolutely key. Like
Mm-hmm.
education was key. Like you have to go to school and you got to do something, or you go into the military,
Woo.
or as a young man you have to be working hard. If you're not working hard, then you're not doing anything. If you don't know what it means to be a provider, stay on the job, keep the job, don't do nothing else to mess up the job.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of be nice, Cordy, don't be so mean. I heard that a lot growing up. Things like that was kind of how I was raised. Like I was raised to be an educated black man. But the problem was that I was raised to be that way.
But nobody taught
But
you
nobody
how.
taught me how to be
Yeah,
that way.
I can
So,
agree with that.
and I know that's confusing. It was more of, we were told to be this kind of way, but sometimes we didn't have the tools to
Mm-hmm.
actually know what that means. Like when you say go to school, what do you mean? I go to school every single day.
Right.
Like what are you talking about? Oh no, you're talking about going to college. Okay, so what do you do to go to college? I don't know what you do to go to
But you
college,
going.
but you're going. Okay,
Right.
so what does that mean? You know what I mean? So you had to do a lot of figuring it out on your own. When it came to certain things like that, I think my parents was kind of old school with the whole 18, especially with me being a young man. It was kind of like 18 was the age of, like I said, you're gonna either go to college, or you're gonna do
You gonna
something
get out
else.
of here.
Are you gonna get out of here? You're not
Yeah.
gonna be in here just chilling and doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So but it's all good. My parents did the best that they could. As I shared before, my parents did have a dynamic relationship. They were always together, of course, but I did see, now looking back, I see that the problems that my mom may was dealing with and my dad was dealing with. I can understand it, and I can see why I was raised that kind of way. But really, I was just raised to be educated, and
Mhm.
raised to be a family man, and I always love my family. I would tell you that we are strong on that,
Oh
on the
yeah.
Hampton side. We don't like the affectionate part is different, but you better not turn your back on your family, because if you turn your back on your family, that is not.
Hampton and
Yeah,
Easton.
yeah, Hampton, Easton,
Yeah.
Watkins. It don't matter who
Yeah.
who it is.
All
Yeah,
y'all.
all of us. We don't play no games about our family, and that is big facts.
You know something for
What's up?
me, um when my great grandmother died, which I am so grateful and so blessed to be able to have had a great grandmother, which a lot of people don't, but
I
I had my
didn't.
great grandmother until I was 14 years old. When she passed away,
Mm-hmm.
I think the demise of my mother's side of the family, like as far as the connection, like
Mm-hmm.
us staying tight, kind of fell as well.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother passed away too when I was 21. So
Mm-hmm.
right now it's literally my mom, my great aunt and auntie, a great uncle, and two
And
uncles.
two uncles.
That's
Yep.
that's my mother's side of the family.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty
And that's
small.
it.
Pretty small.
But
Pretty
my
small.
daddy's side of the family is a whole
Whole
gang
lot
of
of them.
us.
Whole lot of them. Gang, 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 gang.
Y'all, it's I can't even I, I
It's
can't
a
even
lot of
start.
them. It's a lot of
It
them.
it it was seven children total for
Yeah.
my grandmother. And then just think about all the kids they got.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
my daddy's got four of us. So it's
Yeah.
just so many. Just the branch over there, the tree,
Woo. Too
just
deep.
forget it. Just
Too deep.
forget it.
Too deep.
So I'm used to being one of a few and one of many
Mm.
on both sides.
Too deep.
Like my mom, like I said, my mom's only child, but like I have cousins from my aunt, and she's got four children. So they're like my brothers and sisters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Understood.
So
Understood. Understood. So with that being said, I think too, you said something that I wanted to just touch on for a quick second.
mhm.
Like a lot of us, I have a relationship with my big mama. That's what I call. Everybody call them. Big mamas could be anything. They could be great grannies, but my
Oh
big
yeah,
mama's
Granny.
is my granny. So I have a great relationship with my big mama. But I don't have the relationship that I wish I had
Mhm.
with my big mama. And then my grandmother I never met.
On your mother's
On
side.
my mother's side, unfortunately, I never met her. Same with my granddad on my mother's side, never met him.
But we know their
Um,
names, Janie
yeah,
Mae and Daddy
yeah,
O.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But I would have had that relationship on that side, because my mom always says that her parents was like absolutely amazing. And how we go over there and chill out over there. That actually came from my big mama's side. So from my dad's side of the family, we used to go to big mama's house
Every
every
Sunday.
single Sunday when we were kids. And we would just, everybody on my dad's side of the family, we would go over there for a little bit, hang out, you know what I mean? Just bond, just eat and bond. And that's about it. I'm not pretty sure. I was so young. I don't know what happened for that to stop. But I do know when I got old enough, what I mean, I made the decision. I was like, okay, we're gonna create those same family ties with my mom.
Mhm.
Because she's Nana, so I want to make sure we all always go to Nana's house on Sunday. So that's kind of the tradition that we started with them. So having a connection with the grandmother, man, I really wish I had it like everybody else does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I appreciate everything, especially a great grandmother. You know what I mean? I wish I had that bond like that.
Yeah.
It still was sad. When my granddad passed away, I still felt that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a piece of my dad and a piece of me that passed away as well. And just finding out all the musical history that he had was really, really cool, because it's kind of like, oh, that's where you get some of this stuff from. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But I just wish I had that connection, because that's really, really dope to have. And I just hope my kids have that connection, with our parents, and so
Shoot,
on
yeah,
and
they
so
do.
forth.
And well, for me, like I was saying, me being one of few and one of many, I feel a way about a relationship with grandparents. So on my mom's side, when my grandmother and my great grandmother passed, it just rocked our world. Like
Yeah.
so, but me being one of many with my dad's side, I don't know. I feel like you. I don't have that much of a connection. I used to when I was younger, for sure. Like I used to spend every holiday with
Mm.
cousins and grandparents, but we don't get together as much like we used to, or maybe I just don't like. I don't feel a stronger bond that way. I don't know what it could be, but
Man, it's all good. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We're gonna keep it moving and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing is about parenting. This is kind of what we're going into
Mhm.
and how we want to set the standard for our kids. So my next question is like, what kind of skills did you bring to the table that mimic your parents? So like some of the things your mom did or your dad did, you can see that you do as a parent now.
Hmm. I don't even know if I parent like my mama
What about your daddy? You
or
got a
my
mom and a
daddy.
dad.
No, I don't know. Shoot, I have
What?
four parents. I don't know if I parent like any of them.
So you don't think? Okay,
I just don't know
let me.
what
Okay,
trait for
let
sure.
me say this. Let me go mines, and I think once I start, I think you have some things that are kind of ring off in your head as well. So like, all right, so like my mom, how I parent, just like my mom. Okay, so I would say I am
See?
always wait, like I'm trying to say the right things because I don't want to mix up my words. I am always about my kids, and that is my mama. Like
Yeah.
she is always about us, her boys. She don't play no games about her daughter. She don't play no games about, and she's just like she'll do whatever it takes. So I share that trait with her, with having that natural instinct.
Yes, y'all have just a natural gift with kids, just like kids gravitate towards y'all because y'all's energy is amazing with kids, like the dynamic of how you
Yeah.
interact with kids.
Yeah, so I learned that from my mom. So I was able to, of course, with the skills that I learned from being in early childhood education for so long. But just my mom is the reason for that. You like, the way she just always wants to be around and is so supportive. You know what I'm saying, and able to talk to. You know what I mean. She's like that. My mom has always been like that. Now my dad, I'm like my dad in a way because I am the disciplinary in the house.
For sure.
And seriously, like when it comes to our household, me and my dad are so similar because in personalities, we are like it's nuts how much we act the same
Yes, because
sometimes.
I've lived with both
You
of
know what I'm
them.
saying?
So,
Like and like just the way we are with the kids, like
hmm
he's my dad is so chill, man. Like y'all don't understand. Like my dad's real chill, but if he like says stop or if he says like we ain't about to be playing these games no more, like
it's a wrap on that.
it's a wrap. Ain't nobody messing with Big Ollie when it comes to that. I'm
It's a
just
wrap
letting you
on
know that
that.
right now.
But y'all are butter
Yeah.
with them
Yes,
goods.
absolutely. So
Forget it.
so with my son, I can see how I'm like my dad. I'm very different though, and I can speak on that after you get what you get. But I'm definitely like my dad when it comes to being a disciplinary. I try not to discipline as much, honestly, y'all, because I know if I have to discipline, then that means the whole house is probably gonna be weird. You know what I mean? That's my
That's what
word.
he
I
says.
was like,
It's about to get weird in
that's
here.
what I say all the time. I say, hey, 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 it's about to get weird in here. And then everybody just look at me like, oh man, because that's literally the mood that I set after that. So that's me. I'm the disciplinary. So that's kind of what things that I mimic from my dad. And my dad is you don't know them. So my dad is like a sweetheart too. So like he has this time where he'll pop up with gifts or he'll pop up
I'm
with
like,
stuff.
what
You know what I'm
is this?
saying? Like,
Out
yeah,
of
just
nowhere.
out of nowhere. Oh, I mean, and it could be small things. It could just be a treat that the kids really like. Like, I'm like that too. I'll come home, like, yeah, I know y'all really like this. Here you go. That's my dad all the way. Believe it or not, man, he's he's a good man. He done been through a lot, and he's a good dude. And I can say that I'm similar to him in that kind of way when it comes to parenting.
Okay. So as far as parenting like my dad, you say that we have similar personalities as far as like when we're set on something, we're set on it. And
Yes, absolutely. But your mom is that way
but
too.
my mom doesn't have any patience. That's I really did get that from her. And I saw it for myself as an adult and having to interact with her and listen to her and my stepdad talk. Like we had to take her to the hospital months ago. And she was just so impatient. He was just like, I'm trying to find a way out of here. She just was like, you need to go this way. See, I should have brought myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, lady, chill. We only been in the hallway 2 minutes.
Could be looking at a mirror
Oh
though.
my God. It was all
Mm.
me. I was like,
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, 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 yeah,
sheesh.
yeah.
That was a
But
slap in the
yeah,
face.
keep
But
going though about the parenting styles though.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. My mom was strict. She didn't play no games.
You're like that.
I am.
Yeah, you're like that
I
about
might
certain
guess
stuff.
sometimes.
Yeah, about certain stuff.
I'm not the disciplinarian, but my mama's heart is like super like, let me save you. Let me save you a little bit. Like if I was getting in trouble, even by my stepdad, she tried to step in and
Oh well, that's you all the
I know.
what? Oh my god, I never knew. I never knew that. I never
Yeah.
knew.
And I'm really bad about that with
Oh my
CJ
god.
for sure. Harmony, I don't
Her,
know why it is.
she think Harmony deserves it.
No, no,
CJ, he just needs more
no.
time
I
because
just
he's
feel
just
like sometimes you jump into scenarios where I just have to explain the scene for you first before we jump at either one of the kids. I'm like, no, he was just. I'm always explaining them out of stuff,
yeah,
and that's a
definitely.
problem for sure.
Sometimes, but not all,
It
not all.
is,
Because I mean, I think it's a good balance though, because we have to make sure that we got to make sure that we're not being too harsh on the kiddos too.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes we our own anger. We all, if you're a parent and you're listening right now, you know that sometimes your kids get on your last.
Y'all,
You got like one little nerve that keep popping, and they like right on that last one, jumping up and down like a
I don't even know
trampoline.
how I have
You know what I'm
nerves
saying?
left. I
So
just
like
don't even know.
yeah, you know what I mean. So they own that nerve and they just like bounce, bounce, bounce. You know what I mean? Yes, check out that song. But I'm just saying, like they there. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you don't overwhelm yourself and then get so frustrated that you take out all of your frustrations on your kids because you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's not healthy. I don't think you should be doing that in any type of relationship. But you got to learn how to, cool off and chill out because they're kids and they're gonna continuously be crazy. Okay, they're gonna be
Ooh,
crazy
child.
sometimes. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's kind of some of the skills that we take from that and like let's be for real, y'all. Every child has a different personality, so that's one thing that I think parenting that we have to deal with parenting. It's like when you got, so if you got more than one kid, you like in our case we got Cortez and we got Harmony. So like Cortez, okay, for I always say this, Cortez firstborn was like royalty, no pun intended. Like, I mean, it was like, oh my God, here comes the firstborn, here comes the son, and all of this other
Y'all, I was
stuff.
so weak.
And
That's probably why I'm tough on Harmony. Even if she were a boy, the second kid was a boy. I was so weak with CJ. I was determined whatever the next child was, I'm not finna be that weak with this kid. Like
yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna
We
have
know that. So he was such he was the first kid for for us. Like I said,
My
we was
mama's first
married. Yeah, he was
grandchild.
like the first grandchild for some, and
Yeah.
it was really interesting how much attention, which reminded me of myself, of
Mm-hmm.
how much attention that he got just because he was the first, the first one around. He was the smallest one around for a little bit too. And then of course all my other cousins and sisters had more babies and stuff,
Yeah.
but he was just, Cortez Jr., you know what I mean? Cortez and Jesse's first kid, and that was the
Ooh,
that
chat.
was the thing that
That was a
came with
lot.
him.
That's a lot of
And
pressure on him. Now that you think about it, like
yeah, I mean,
they're
but he can't.
they
Yeah,
your mama and
yeah, yeah,
daddy.
yeah. But then it comes to of course Harmony and understanding that. But let's kind of talk about it. So it's like Cortez's personality is a nice mixture between. I always say my kids have this thing where they got a good balance of their parents. Like my son really looks like me when he's younger, but he smiles like his mom. Like he's got his mother's smile. He's got the energy of his mom, but he really got the energy of me too when I'm around my family because my
Mm-hmm.
family know how goofy I
Yes,
am.
because my family didn't think you talked.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'm like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he's got that same swag, you know what I'm saying? But he talks
Mm-hmm.
too much like
I be
Jess, and you know what I'm saying? He's always running his
like,
mouth
Jess,
and saying,
why you trying to slide
I
that in
didn't say
there?
that in there. I
You
was just
did.
saying,
You
but
did
you know what I
say
mean?
that.
He, sometimes he just gets really talkative or whatever. Other than that. And then Harmony, Um,
Okay, y'all, let me tell you, I prayed so hard for a little girl, but I forgot that I had an attitude when I was little.
uh,
Harmony's a three-nager, like to the
I
T.
wish you would quit saying she has an attitude. I don't think it's
Okay,
attitude.
she's just sassy,
I
like
do.
a
I'll
little
give you
girl.
that. I'll give you
Is
sassy.
she's definitely sassy.
I'll
The
give you
stuff that comes out
sassy.
her mouth, I'm like, how,
Yeah, yeah.
how?
I give you sassy for sure. And I think that's just personality. It's a black girl magic. She's got a little sass about it, but I'm learning like Harmony is like she's turning into a people person. Like
She has
she's really to
being stuck in the
herself.
house.
Yeah,
So
she's
when
really
we out
yeah.
now,
She's really stuck. She's really like she stays to herself a lot, and she has to warm up a little bit more than how CJ was when he was 3.
yeah.
She kind of does kind of warm up to you. Now she has days where she might just go up and have a whole conversation with you, and then
Mm-hmm.
some days she might just kind of be like, how y'all doing?
Nah, I
And
ain't
I think
feeling
she
you.
and I think she gets that from me.
You
Like
know
I'm
what?
definitely
For
like that.
sure. You know, my mama said last weekend, she said, your daughter's just so sometimey. But I said, she's always sometimey. So is she really sometimey?
Right, exactly. She is who
Because she's
she is.
always that way.
Yeah, yeah. She's always been that way,
Yeah,
and
she got to
she's
fill you out first.
I mean,
Like,
she's with. I mean, I think she's like that with everybody. I mean, she's with that. She's like that with me.
she
I
is.
just really don't pay attention to it, and she can't do it with me that long because I'm dad. And she tries her best to try. Trust me, y'all. She tries her best to be mean. She tries to
She's
be
very
all of that.
independent.
Yeah.
Like,
Now
she
that's
don't want
different.
nobody. That's way
So
different.
that's the difference between our kids and y'all. Here's the thing I want y'all to understand: you got to learn it about your own kids as well. Like learn their different personalities.
For sure.
Some kids are, for example, CJ. He's independent, but he's okay with being dependent with
Yeah.
with people. Like if you want to show him something or if you want to teach him something, you know what I
Harmony's
mean.
middle name
He's
is Let
cool.
Me Do It.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But
She
yeah,
ain't.
but the harmony is more like I got it, I got it, I got it,
And
I
I
got it.
always mess her up because I'm always like trying to fix and trying to help.
Yeah,
And when I do, she's done with the whole project.
yeah,
Like, Mama, I can do it. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna just help. I'm gonna rip this part from.
like
Nope,
yeah.
I'm done. I don't want
She's
it.
like, I don't want it
I'm over it.
anymore because I didn't ask you to
I'm
do it in
over
the
it. I didn't
first
ask you to
place.
do that part.
Yeah, she's really like that. And then
She shuts
also
down.
also like that's the point I want to say. Like she shuts down. Like when CJ was like it, he's like, oh cool. All right, well you can help. Thanks, mama. You know what I mean? Thanks, daddy. Harmony's like, you know what? I'm done with it. Y'all can take it.
Y'all
I don't
find
want
something
it.
else
Go play
for
with
me
it
to
by
do because
yourself.
I'm
I'm
over it.
tired of y'all because y'all get on my nerves and y'all always messing up something. Stupid parents.
I always ruin it for her, and I don't even try to, but
Yeah, but you got to learn though.
I know it's so hard for me.
But you got to learn how to say,
Because
you got
I want to help. I'm
yeah,
always a helper, but she's
understood.
like,
But you
I
got
don't
to
want your help.
right, but you got to understand this. You got to understand that okay, your kids are different. Like like our kids, they're kind of similar now. I'll say Harmony is she was opening up more, and she's so much younger than CJ, so she's got to open up. Like when she's 3, sometimes you got to watch out. Don't treat the 3-year-old like a 7-year-old, and don't treat the 7-year-old like a 3-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the
Because
3-year-old be acting like a 7-year-old.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes like
I'd be
that's
like,
the difference
dang,
between
girl.
our children too. One is
Yeah,
more sensitive than the other. Like CJ is much more sensitive than Harmony.
very.
Harmony, you can say something to her, she might get
Her feelings don't
angry.
get hurt, but she get mad
Yeah,
about it.
her feelings are different. Like she's just like, oh man, y'all whack over here. You know what I'm
She
saying?
give you
Forget
one of
y'all.
these.
You know what I'm saying? And Cortez will literally go downstairs or go somewhere and
He'll,
just cry.
he'll have a tear
And
come
he'll
down
have
his
a tear.
face.
Yeah, he'll have
Stand there talking to
he
you.
will literally just have a tear just fall down.
Like, what is wrong with you? I ain't even said nothing.
Very sensitive. My son is very sensitive, but he'll play and he'll have a good time. And I mean, y'all, he plays football, believe
Super
it or not,
social.
y'all. Really social. And that's the thing about him. Like, if he's in a social setting, he usually does a great job of just being around. I mean, you can kind of tell, like, one thing I was really nervous about with football was that, how would they react to my kids? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I was always like, okay, CJ's a different kind of kid, man. Like he's a boy, but I always open him up to different stuff. Like I don't, like have him a closed-minded kid. Like I'm not raising a gangbanger. You know
No,
what I'm
but
saying? Like I'm
CJ's the
not.
type of
Hold on, let me finish. I'm not
oh,
raising a
sorry.
gangbanger, and I'm not raising a gangster. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm raising a young man, so I want to make sure that he's cool with, doing certain stuff, being around and being in touch with himself and understand like, okay, as a kid I can go through these things. You
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
me?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I would like to raise him. So he's a little bit more he's a little bit more sensitive, and he's very expressive when it
But
comes
like
to
I was
that.
saying, he's social. He gets that a lot from me. I'll say because if you sit him in the classroom, he's getting moved every whenever because he's gonna make friends with whoever he's next to. We've gone through that
He
before.
really does, and that's why I was nervous. That's what I was gonna say about football. I was nervous. I didn't know if he was gonna make friends because these little boys, they these little boys. You know what I mean? You know how people say boys and then boys or whatever the case may be.
Said two
Like,
times you really mean.
yeah, they like, but they just wrestle and roughhouse or whatever. They do that all the time, and I was really nervous to see how he would adapt to that. You know what I'm saying? And he did. He's just one of the boys when he goes out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I really love about him, man. He's very social. He helps me out. Like he gets me out of my, comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? If we somewhere and we're playing football or we with everybody, I mean, I gotta literally call for him to, hey.
Come on back over here.
Right. And then that's when you talk to the parents, like, yeah, that's my son. Oh, well, that's my son over there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I mean, he's done a really good job of being social. And I always attest that to her because I'm social, but I gotta get to know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be your friend. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, hey, nah, I'm not gonna do that. If I'm at work, I'm gonna be very professional with you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna build a bond with you at work professionally. But nah, cuz I ain't about to just be like, yo, you my
I
best
don't know. I
friend or you
think I
my
make
friend.
people feel like I'm their friend, but I'm just being social.
I
It
think
doesn't
I think I
necessarily
let
mean
I
that.
think I'm just like protective. And I think like people
Yeah,
people feel safe around me sometimes. Like,
for
you know what I
sure.
mean? Like, hey man, like I
That's
don't
one of
this
my
this boy
you could
crazy.
check
Yeah, this
off for me
like this
because I
boy
feel safe for
yeah,
sure.
like this boy crazy. Like he a little bit nuts because he's talking, but he ain't
He
talking.
ain't said much of nothing,
Yeah, he ain't
but
saying
yeah.
much of anything. He just over there just chilling, but he ain't
So
mad.
the icebreakers at company like first days or orientations are not for you. Like find someone who has
Professionally, yes, they
yes.
are.
Oh really?
Yes, absolutely. You can ask anybody now. My staff, they hate it because I'm like so chipper, and I'm like, yeah, come on, guys, we can do this, and blah blah blah. Come on, let's get to know each other.
I don't like the small talk like
Yeah,
that kind.
yeah, no, yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
what?
I know, but you can have that conversation. But I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of chill. Like, no matter what, like, okay, if you meet me, so prime example, like, if we meet new friends, new couples, right? Like, their first reaction to me, I'm gonna be chilling and not like
Yeah, your
literally,
chilling is
not
really
like,
just sitting back, scoping the scene, and that's pretty much it.
yeah. And I know,
But I might ask some questions to actually get to know them.
nah, I ain't gonna do
But
that. I ain't gonna do that. Like, I ain't
but
gonna
I'm
do
just
that.
trying to see where you at. It's not really me trying to be your best friend. It's just me trying to figure out, do I want to even spend more time with
Yeah,
this
and
person?
people can't figure me out. That's why I like how I am because people
Man,
can
that's
never
weird.
figure me out because I'm like, you would think I don't want to have a good time, but I'm like, yeah, come on, let's do it. Like I'm always like, all right,
Y'all
cool,
think
that's
Tez be Jess?
yeah,
You think Tez
yeah. You
want
think
to
he gonna
go?
do?
I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah,
definitely want to go, but I'm
yeah.
just kind of just like chill. I don't really be, I really don't talk. So let's hold on.
The comments are
I know.
rolling
I think
in.
I gotta put this one up because I don't know if this is true or not. But he said what?
Don't talk to me the first 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Like
don't believe that.
I went well. I feel him though. Like I mean, I ain't gonna say
First
don't.
2 hours of your work shift. Is that what you?
Depending now, if we talking about work shift. Now, when I
Oh,
used to work with the cake man, he would come in pretty early. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
No, I
So
couldn't talk to him
yeah,
that early.
that's
Yeah,
pretty
6
early to
a.m.
be
Yeah,
talking to
holler at him at
somebody.
8.
Yeah, I've always been that way, man. I remember people thought I just had an attitude problem because I was just so quiet. You know, I would get
Let me
around
thaw
family.
out first.
Yeah, when I get around
Yeah.
family, I'm the same way. I'm just like, you know what? I gotta chill. You know what I'm saying? Just because
Mm-hmm.
that's just how I am. Now, this all happens to be talking. We're talking about this because our kids and how
And
they
how they
are,
are.
and
Yeah.
CJ is so social, and then Harmony is kind of the opposite.
She's like,
So that's why we're kind of talking
yeah.
about how we are, in certain settings. But I would also say this, like I said, don't force your kids to be something that they're not. You know what I mean? Know that's why it's important to know their personalities because you will never. Okay, you hold on. I gotta say it. So wait a
Oh.
minute. So Candace says, I never remember you being quiet though. That's because by the time you all worked with me, that was my
You was
home.
already in your
Yeah, that was my
element. That
home.
you didn't
Like
have to warm up to
I
that
didn't have to warm up.
environment at
Y'all got to
all.
warm up to me.
Y'all
That's
got.
what I said.
I live here. This is
Yeah,
my
like you know what I'm
house.
saying, this is my crib. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? When y'all came in, it was like, yo, this is me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This is how I am. I don't know about what y'all talking about, but this over here is where I work at, and I love my job. You know, I was that guy. So, and I'm still am that guy, still to this day. But yeah, what I wanted to say was, don't force your child to be something that they're not. So there's no need to put harmony in settings where we know that she won't be successful. You know what I'm saying? But we do
Mm,
have to teach her skills to be able to make those things work. You know what I mean? When she does get in those settings as she gets older. She's 3 years old. We can control a lot right now. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? As a 3-year old. Now, a 7-year old, or I would even say as young as 5, when they get introduced to kindergarten, that's where things get really weird.
For sure.
Okay. Because now it's like your child becomes, okay, I'm gonna go to a space where my parents aren't at
I've
all the
never met
time.
these people. This
And
is not
and it's not
daycare.
daycare, because daycare
Yeah.
has a different feel, but now this is like school. You know what I'm saying? So, as parents, we have to be, mindful of their, as I say, as you said earlier, as their job is to go to
Mm-hmm.
school and then come home, possibly do homework, and then be a kid. So we have to be mindful of the job that they work every single day, and we can't force them to be something that they're not at the time. There's such thing as kids being tired, y'all. There's a such thing as kids having a lot on their mind, and there's a such thing as
Yeah, we
kids.
kind of don't even account for their feelings because you're just like, oh, you just a kid, you get over it.
Yeah,
But
it's
they really are
sad.
going through stuff.
Yeah, because if you think about it, and we'll share this with you all, our son had an issue at school with throwing temper tantrums and things like that. And then you wonder why when we pick him up, he's knocked out,
Mhm.
sleep in the back seat. Now, everybody gets to school sleep.
Yeah.
Everybody has that. So, period. But, he's just so drained from using all of that negative energy at school
Mm-hmm.
that, when he gets home, it's like, yo, I'm finally home. I'm good.
Home is
I'm
safe. Home
safe. I don't
is
have to deal with
relief.
anybody. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother ball game, I think, that we don't talk about as parents, is that what does your child go through on a regular day-to-day basis? You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
what has you ever, like, what does your child see? You ever thought about what your child sees every day? You know what I mean? I ain't talking about what they're watching on TV, but I'm saying noticing what you know what I'm saying, what you are doing, how
Oh
you guys
yeah.
are interacting with each other,
That's
and
a
how
big
they're
thing.
taking that in and saying, okay, cool. My dad's one way, my mom's one way, just like we said they are. So just you got to kind of know those things, and don't force your kid. Like if your kid don't want to play football and you got a son, please don't let them play football. If your kids don't like to play sports, as a coach myself now, please just leave it alone.
Ooh,
Okay?
Chad, them babies be out there just tired.
Yes, just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Just leave it alone. If that's not it, if your child likes to do something that's not typical or masculine, as you say, then figure out what your child likes. You know what I'm saying? If it's a little boy, figure out what he likes and then tune into that. You know what I'm saying? There might be something great that comes from that. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is playing video games, that's when you set those wonderful routines and those schedules up into your household to help you, kind of get past that and let them know those type of things. So
Hmm.
my wife does a really good job of routines,
I'm
and
no, I'm trying, y'all,
you're doing a
because
really good job though, because you have one, and then we have one as well. And you said one of them, like one is like bedtime for us. Is that what I can think about?
yeah.
Like
So
our bedtime for us is way different than what other people's is
very,
probably.
very like I
Like what
know.
time y'all put y'all kids to bed?
Yeah, put in the comments what
Yeah.
time do y'all put your kids to bed because we're not we're not I guess we're just not the norm. Like I used to try to put them to bed like 9 o'clock. Like 9 o'clock was a hard stop for me. Like you going to bed at 9.
Mm-hmm.
But it just doesn't work out for us, just our schedules alone. Like you and CJ don't get home until 8:15. Well, actually practice doesn't end until 8:15.
So we probably not
So
home
you're
till
not even
8:30.
home till 8:30, 8:45.
Mm-hmm.
You still gotta eat. You still gotta get a shower.
Yep.
Like so for us, 9 doesn't work every night. I know some of my friends put their kids to bed at 7 o'clock,
Ooh, Jesus.
8 o'clock. My kids gonna say, it's still daytime outside.
Or
Like,
not even that. You remember the point I made earlier? I was like, we doing stuff at 7
yeah,
o'clock. We doing stuff at 7. We
right.
doing
I'm
stuff
just
at
getting
8.
done with Zumba. Y'all still doing stuff. So yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
hard. So nobody should feel guilty about the routine that works for you all.
Boom. Tell them, baby.
So that is your parenting style. That works for you all. That's it.
Yep.
It's different for every kid. Like, no matter what. CJ never slept through the night. Harmony
Mm.
slept like a log.
Yep.
I was so grateful for her. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
used to army crawl out of CJ's room to lay him back down at 2 and 3 in the morning. Harmony's like, I'm going to bed. See y'all later.
yep, love y'all. Night night. You know what I mean?
So
That's just how it is.
yeah,
And we appreciate that as parents, you know what I mean? And when you understand that's how your child is, you not about to argue with you about the bedtime. If
right.
you because like with us, it works 10 p.m. Boom. Some people say, well, why is this podcast so late? You know why? Because 10 p.m. is
Because we're going
bedtime.
to they're going to bed.
Yeah,
This
this is
TV's going
bedtime for
off.
the
We
kiddos.
make them use the restroom before.
Yeah.
You know, y'all got 10 minutes. All
Yeah.
right. Split
Yeah.
up, get to your room.
And that's the point.
It.
And that's the point. So if you do have your child go to bed at 7 o'clock, maybe it's because you have to get up early in the morning. They have to get up with you. Like that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Or if you just want the kids to be asleep for a few hours before you get some rest, that's perfectly fine as well. Especially as your kids get older. You know what I mean? It's up to you how you want to do it. You know what I'm
I'll tell you
saying?
right now, I'm grateful for even your schedule because now that you're back to work and you have to work at 6 a.m., you have to be there at 6 a.m. or 6:15 or whatever. It makes us all shut down. So that 10 o'clock is a hard stop for us now. And we're all getting 8 hours of sleep. There was no way I was ever going to get 8 hours of sleep before this pandemic, even. Like,
Yeah.
I used to stay up until 1 in the morning just doing nothing. Maybe watching TV, maybe cleaning. Like, that doesn't even necessarily happen that late.
Yeah.
Just sitting here catching up. Like, even that would be our time to catch up with each other as well.
Yeah.
So that 10 o'clock makes a difference because I can wake up earlier and get to work earlier, get some more work done earlier before my kids wake up. My kids will wake up at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So they're getting a lot of sleep. 10 to 8:30.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And that's what we need, especially if they want to have some energy for the next day. And now we got school starting as well. So we need CJ to have as much energy as possible.
For
and
sure.
Harmony's gonna have energy. She's 3 years old. So she's gonna do that. And then I would also throw this in real quickly is nap times. I come from an early childhood background. Like when your child is really small, you know what I mean? During that time, it's okay to take a nap. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and let them get their little nap in. It doesn't have to be no 5-hour nap. Now you tripping. You know what I'm saying? Just give them a little hour and a half, maybe 2 at the most.
Don't play.
You know what I'm saying? And just let them sleep. You know
she
what I mean?
had a hard first day of school too. And she said, I'm going to sleep. I'm about to take a nap on this couch.
Yep.
Told her bruh. Literally that.
So whatever works for you, we're going to keep repeating it. Whatever works for you and your household, please do it. Continue to do it. Don't feel bad about what you're doing.
Right.
You are making it work for you.
Bad.
Okay. Please don't feel bad about what you're doing. It has nothing else. Listen, it has nothing to do with anybody else. It's all about you and how you raise your children. So make sure that you're doing that. And my biggest thing too, I'm gonna read some of these comments.
Okay.
Let's see. I think I seen another one going up here. But as I say that, just always remember, like, that's the biggest thing about this parenting chat is I remember that you are the parents of your children. You know what I'm saying? So nobody else can tell you about your kids because you know your kids. So, baby, can you go ahead and read this comment?
Yeah, she says, Imani has bad days sometimes, and I make sure to let her know that's okay. Parents have to remember kids have feelings too. They have bad days, and that's okay. I just try to make sure she knows tomorrow's a new day, and she can start over and have a better day.
Yes, all I say is always keep that same energy. You know what I'm saying? Keep that same energy with your children that you have with other people. The patience that you have with other people and other people's kids, please put that in you and put that in your children. Like,
that's a daily prayer for real for me.
Have you ever noticed how you can treat somebody else's kids, or you can treat other people's just other people with so much respect and dignity,
for sure,
and be so nice, and then you come home and you have nothing how you are outside of the home.
Gave it all away all day long to everybody else, and I didn't even save any for home.
And that is horrible.
That's the worst.
That is horrible. You have to learn how to, as we said, and if you have a balance, just balancing out everything. You cannot give your home 10% and give the world 90. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's just not okay. And as a parent, it's definitely not okay because we're supposed to pour into our children. As she
Mhm.
said, it's okay to have these feelings. It's okay to do these things, but you have to understand that, tomorrow's a new day. We even say that in football. You know what I mean? Tomorrow's a new day, fellas. It's all right. If you make a mistake, that's all right. You just keep on going and
You
keep
know
on
what? Do you
pushing.
now thinking about that? Do you think that that's why our parents are the way they are with our kids?
What you mean?
Because we're like, oh, y'all didn't do all that with us. Y'all didn't do this with us. Y'all were pretty mean to us, or
No, they like that way because it ain't their kids. They don't have
that's what I'm
the
saying.
yeah,
The
yeah,
same
they don't have
concept
the
of
they don't have
we're a
this
different way to everybody else's kids, but
yeah. Yeah, but they just yeah, it's just like that. Yeah, they're on a different verge because I think that as we were talking about that grandmother, that grandfather love, I think that's something totally different. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a
mm-hmm.
bond that's just amazing that if you have it, what I mean, you cherish it. And
Yeah,
it's like, when they look at when they look at our kids, they see us all over again. And that's just something that's just incredible as well. So you always got to be very, very conscious
ooh,
of that or
can we read?
whatever.
Can we read this one?
What is that? It's really short.
Vernette says, I still take naps midday, 3 to 5 p.m.
Yeah,
Praise
I'm not.
Jesus. God
Mm-mm,
bless you and your household that
mm-mm.
is in your schedule.
Yeah, because I
I'd
can't.
love to have that in
I
my
don't. I
schedule.
don't love to have that.
I would probably be
I'm
much
gonna
more productive.
let me say this. You would love to have it. I probably need to have it because I will. I'm so old, y'all. It's getting to the point now. If I'm busy, 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 and I come home, then I'm probably immediately gonna take a nap. But it ain't nothing that like I'm scheduling or it's gonna happen. It's just like I'll be so busy and I'll be so tired. We got a couch though that is amazing too.
Y'all, when
They're
we
like, soon
laid
you
on this
sit on
couch,
this
as
couch, it's like,
soon
oh my
as
god, it's
we were
over.
in the store to buy it, we said, "Oh,
Like
this
yeah,
is gonna be
like
a
this is gonna
problem."
be a
It was
problem.
between a super cute, like chic,
Yeah, yeah,
not for our family one,
yeah, yeah. And then it
and then
was
this one.
it was like a
And
couch couch.
when we came home,
Ooh, we
all the four of us laid out.
laid out.
I
I'll never
woke up and
forget
I said,
that.
"I don't know what day it is."
Yeah, yeah, that's how
It was
deep of a sleep it is. But
so
yeah, I'm
deep.
just more like that. Like I feel that I mean, if you can schedule that in, that's absolutely great. But I probably need them, but I don't want
Then
them.
the converse of that is
What's that?
I stopped naps at the age of 6.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah, see, that works for
that
you.
works for you though. You know what I mean? If that's what
Sometimes
you,
CJ really needs a nap, but he is so anti-nap. Cortez Jr. thinks he's gonna miss out on the world if he gets a little bit of shut eye.
yeah, Cortez wakes up like, oh my gosh, what is going on? What did I miss? But you know what's funny? My mama used to tell me that all the time. She said, boy, you ain't gonna miss nothing. Go
Nothing.
on,
The same
Dada, and
TV
then go
show
to
gonna
sleep.
loop. You're gonna
Yes.
see it again.
Yeah, absolutely. She tells me that
Yeah.
absolutely all the time, man. And then we got one on here I wanted to read. It says, "What about kids that can't do wrong in the parents' eyes?" Oh,
Mm.
too deep. All right, so ooh, well,
I don't even know.
here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. I think that this is opinions, right? So we have this issue a little bit.
Who has this
We
issue
do.
in this house?
Yes, we have this issue a little bit because the
I don't
way
believe it.
that our kids are disciplined um is very interesting. I used to always say the way that she talks to Harmony, she didn't talk to CJ at that same age. And I would always say, like, yo, like you pretty tough on Harmony. And you wasn't, I remember you not being that tough on CJ like that. You know what I'm saying? So I
I think even y'all know what's crazy? It's even different times in within the 3.5 years that they are. Like to raise Harmony now is even different than raising CJ 4 years ago.
yeah, but I'm just saying how you just how y'all
Because
communicate.
all this period. I don't walk around saying that. Where she catch it at? Where she catch it? Where she catch it?
Okay, but what's that got to do with
So
anything? Like you
that's
keep,
the I talked
but
to her.
you act like Junior and didn't do anything at the age of 3. That's what I'm saying. Name some. Here's the
No,
question.
don't do that.
Okay,
Don't
here's the
do
question.
that.
Tell me something.
Don't do that.
Okay, just tell me something.
Don't do
Tell
that.
me. Okay.
It was a long time ago. I don't know. Don't do that.
Exactly. So I always say this. I would say I'm equally tough on both of our kids.
This is crazy.
Simply because I'm the disciplinary in the house. So I'm literally the one.
No, I will say that. You know what? It takes less for dads to talk to daughters. My daddy has never whooped
We got to
me.
correct that. It takes less for good dads to
Okay,
discipline.
fathers, real fathers. So to
Mhm.
discipline their daughters. My dad has 3 daughters, and he's never whooped me like me. I know. I don't know about those two. I know I've never gotten a whooping from Gregory ever in my
Wow,
life.
that's interesting.
A good stern talking to, I didn't crab my butt off.
Well, I got one whooping from my daddy. That's about
But
it.
he ain't never had to. Like,
What you mean he never had to? He probably should have.
maybe.
Cause you
Cause
know,
I'm talking about for me. Like, I ain't never been like off the my mouth is really slick for sure.
babe. But okay, if your mouth is slick,
But
no, wait a minute.
no,
You're gonna stop
hold on.
yourself.
But I wasn't disrespectful.
So okay, so Harmony's not.
Cortez.
So Harmony's disrespectful. So you don't believe that your
I don't
mom.
think that she's
Okay,
disrespectful.
wait.
My
Listen,
mama
listen.
beat me like I don't know
you
what.
know, no, your mama didn't beat you like you know what, because you still here and you still surviving. So chill
Okay.
out. So what I'm saying is what you just said.
My mama beat
You don't
'cause it's
believe
Tuesday.
No, see, okay, listen. You like your mama then. Because the same way you trying to say that Harmony is, I mean, it's the same way you was.
I mean, I'm not. I
And
ain't
you-
even reached her.
Look, you can't
worse
even get
yet.
it. And you are your mama. What? So you are
I don't whoop.
you are
Harmony.
Lavette. Harmony is
There's
Jessica.
no way. No, I don't whoop her.
But you just said you was talkative and you
Have
might
I-
have said something
Have
slick.
I have never even
But
popped her. Like
I didn't say you
slick,
popped it.
maybe.
I didn't say you popped it. I'm not talking. You talking
I'm gonna
about
give y'all. I'm
physical.
gonna give y'all a scenario.
You need to
one
chill because you sound like you talking about your mom is physically abusive. That's what you sound like.
Time. No,
So like, just relax. You little sensitive self. You was the only child. So if anybody pushed you, I blew on you. You probably
and she
didn't
ain't
like
had
it.
nothing else to do.
See, look at
It
you.
was
Look
just
how you
me.
talking. Look, I deserved every whooping I got. Whatever whooping I deserved it. I don't know what it was. I probably said something crazy off the wall. I probably did something that wasn't right. So if I got popped in church for talking too much in church, if I got popped for doing something, I deserved it. I know I did. It's just how it
Boys
is.
get popped easily. Like the frustration. That's where I'm at. Like I said, I got that from my mama.
Okay.
I don't have no patience.
Still to the
But
point
with
of
CJ, I didn't pop him a couple of times for sure.
yeah. I would say this. That when it comes to that, be very careful with how you're disciplining your children because you could be scarring your children as well. But I'm not saying physically, I'm saying mentally.
Mhm.
Because they don't know, like, you gotta. One thing I wanted everybody to understand is that you got to explain stuff to your kids, whether you like it or not. Okay,
That's new. That's
whether
new. That's for
you
us
like it or
millennials.
not,
Because our parents didn't explain
you have to
absolutely nothing.
explain stuff to your children. And the reason why you have to explain stuff to them is because, like, I'm not saying you have to be like, oh, don't go in the cookie jar because I told you not to. I'm saying you can say that, but I'm saying like stuff that,
Ooh, bless you.
bless me, I'm sorry, stuff that you have to deal with and stuff that you see your children are really upset about. You have to talk to them through the frustration and through the anger so they can really understand. Like, old school way is I'm gonna explain to you why I'm whooping you. So, for example, you
You
know
bet.
better than that because I told you not to do. Now, next time, that's how my mama whooped me. Next time I tell
Same.
you to,
I think all us on here got whooped like
you know
that.
what I'm saying? Like everybody, like I told you, blah blah blah. But you know what I mean? While you're getting a whooping, and that never really helped because if the whooping really hurt to you, you weren't paying attention to
I
that.
can't hear none of
You
them
was just
words.
like, ouch, 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 ooh, ooh, or
That's why I
crying.
said
You know what
my
I'm saying?
daddy has talked. He has talked so much to us, like for us to get it, and that's all it took. But my mama,
I
she
don't.
just,
I see, but I think this. When it comes to the different kind of kids and how you discipline your kids and how you are communicating with kids, and when you feel like a kid can't do no wrong, I think that's where the whole point of this is. You and your spouse, your baby mama, your baby daddy, or whatever the case may be, y'all need to be on the same page. Because when y'all on the same page, because here's the thing, I can't, like, you was in a 2-parent household. You can't, like, your mom couldn't discipline for you for something and then your
are
dad
you
not
talking
say
about
nothing
like
to you.
split household?
Yeah, and your
Yeah.
dad can't, like, he don't, Like, say if it was a big issue, say if it was something at school, and then you got in trouble with your mom, your dad is going to say something to you about it. It might have been different. The approach might have been a little bit different, but as co-parents, mama has to say something to you, daddy's going to say something to you. That is just how it is.
Yeah.
Period. You know what I mean? And I think that you guys, when you're co-parenting or when you're a parent in the same household, you got to talk to each other. You got to communicate to
A
each other.
united front.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
not good. I
For example,
sometimes slip out.
you said your daddy never whooped you, right? And obviously I've got a few whoopings in my life. We have to talk about how we gonna do are we whooping our children or not? You know what I'm saying? We had to have that talk of, is it too much? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When is it too much?
Because
When
we
do
not, some even when CJ was cutting up in school, all of our parents was just like, "Well, I need to give him a whooping." Okay, yeah, we tried that, and what?
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's still cutting up in school. So now what?
And then we did the long lecture. I did it all, y'all. We did the long lecture thing, and I think
and then
sometimes,
time out, and then take stuff away,
but
and
I think
then
we didn't understand our child at that moment
Yeah.
either, because I think our child was just growing up,
Mhm.
and I think he was just trying to figure out his little 5-year-old self way. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Through.
for sure.
But this is a good one, and I have to put this up, guys. And this is for parents all over the world. Please don't undermine each other. Please don't. Please don't. And
Yeah.
and don't like, mama said, daddy said, you know what I'm saying? But mama
Yeah.
said, but daddy said, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it this way because, oh my
It's really
goodness.
hard. Like
And it's about
for
anything
me,
too.
I'm in the saving mode and trying to explain them safe, that I forget that I'm undermining whatever he said in that moment.
Yeah.
So I should let that decision go. Whatever he said in the moment, let it ride, and then ask him what it was that he meant by it afterwards when the kids are not in the vicinity.
Yeah, and actually I think that's something we learned in counseling too. But
yeah,
like, okay, for example, y'all, if there's a decision that's going to be made about the children, I don't care if it's if they're going to have dessert tonight, or if it's like a major decision like which school he's going to go to or whatever the case may be, and say the child wants something, you know what I mean, and mom and dad are not on the same page at the moment or whatever, and they haven't had a chance to actually talk to each other about it. The point is, like, don't try to have the
Decide it out
conversation
in front of them.
right. Don't try to decide it in front
Send them
of the
somewhere
children.
and say, we'll
Yeah.
get back with you in a minute.
Yeah. I'm
And then-
and I'm serious. And I know people feel like, I shouldn't have to tell my kids that. No, I'm just saying you'll build up a better relationship with your
Yeah.
children. And then your children won't look at okay, mama is the nice one, daddy is the mean one.
Yeah.
Or
It's all
mama
about
is the
timing,
mean
like you
one,
said.
daddy is the nice one. You get what I'm saying? We don't want to build that relationship with our children. We want to try to make sure we have open
It's
communication.
gonna be, so what your daddy say when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
ask
yeah,
me?
yeah, absolutely. And that's what it'll
And what
start
your mama
doing.
say?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you come downstairs and ask me for a dessert or whatever, and I'm gonna say, well, what your mama say? And if you go upstairs and you say, what your daddy say? And then we're gonna figure it out.
Yep.
We're gonna figure it out. Then we're gonna come up, babe. I might text her if we're not in the same room. Or I might say, hey, can they have this? I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Just make sure they don't get so much. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Or, he wants to play football. Are you sure you want him to play football? Well, I don't know. I mean, he won't have to play. He does not have to play. Okay, he wants me to coach. Do you want me to coach the team? Oh, well, I mean, okay, I won't do it. Well, yeah, I mean, you can do. Okay, like, you had to have communication with each other.
Heard that word again.
You know what I'm saying? Communication
is.
with each other about it,
Mhm.
because your timing is everything, and then you just don't want to mess up the household. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You always got to make sure that you are doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, which for your children. And sometimes mama and sometimes daddy, depending on the situation, you ain't right. Like, sometimes you ain't right. You ain't right. Mama might be like she right all the time. Or daddy may feel like he's right all the time. And sometimes, guys, this is just not that simple. Okay, it's not that simple. Sometimes it's a little complicated than that. Or, it's a compromise, because it all goes back to how we were raised as children. It all goes back to how we saw things and
I think
what was
that's-
our perspective on things. I'm a Sunday night dinner with my mama and then maybe ice cream later. You know what I'm saying? But maybe
Yeah.
we don't do that. Maybe that's not a tradition that we start. Maybe that's something different. It can be so many different things.
It is
y'all.
so many different things, because like my stepdad was real nonchalant about things, and on the outside it didn't look like he was probably making a bunch of the decisions, but and my mama made a whole lot of decisions, so maybe that's why I'm
That's an
very
old school way of thing.
more assertive.
Oh, they so old school because I feel like that's all the old school parents. They do that all
I
the
think
time.
it's the reverse. Like the
My,
men are
man, my mama,
making the
my
decision.
mama would do a lot, and I mean, no, I'm saying no. What I'm saying is like a old school way of that's how the guys were.
Oh yeah, just sit back and
Sit
chill.
back and
Yeah,
chill, go to work, do all that,
yeah,
provide.
yeah,
Mama takes care of all the stuff.
for
You know what I'm
sure. Even
saying?
even my stepmom, like I was just talking to my little brother last week. Like we used to go everywhere, and Jane would drop us off. We go to the movies. We do this. We do that, and it didn't look like Daddy was even a part of the decision making process. But I'm sure they had a conversation and said, "Hey, this is what's gonna happen. This is I'm gonna drop them off here. You cool with
It changed
that?"
my life when my daddy said, "Where you think she get the money from?"
Bro-
And I was like, And then as I got older, and then you start seeing, okay, my
yeah.
mom works here, my dad works here. Oh,
I mean, and
okay, all
either
right, I
way,
got you.
like even if that's not the way your finances are set
Your
up, but
finances, right?
whatever.
I'm just talking about my
Yeah,
experience.
yeah,
Yeah, my experience. So, like sometimes, but I just think the way we parent now may be a little different. A lot of times it is 50-50 in relationships, and it's a lot of times it's like, hey, mom and dad want to do it.
yeah.
I used to tell her that I was like, y'all ain't about to keep doing all this stuff without me. Y'all got me messed up. Y'all not about to have life experiences and daddy wasn't there. You are so tripping. Well, daddy was at work. Daddy was at the radio show. Daddy was.
What are you talking about? Because we went to one Bats baseball game without you, and that was it.
Yeah, and that's a lot. And I still remember that. But anyways, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just, you want to be able to create those memories. So make sure that you always on the same page. So I guess that's the biggest thing at the end, y'all,
Yeah.
is that we just have to be on the same page when it comes to parenting your children. If you want to discipline your child, that's on you. Do not abuse your child at all. And
At
abuse
all.
is different. Abuse is different than what
Mental
it
as
was.
well.
Mental abuse as well. You got to learn how to step away when you're getting frustrated, when you're getting so upset and you cannot talk and
They
you cannot
teach
express
you that
yourself.
at the hospital
I
when you first
understand.
have the baby.
I
Like, if
understand.
you're that frustrated, step away. So we
Yes.
need to continue to do that.
Yes, through childhood, through
Yeah.
teenage years, and I would say as an adult, you know what I mean. When your child becomes an adult,
All
make
of
sure
it.
you do all of those things,
People.
and then just understand your children, their personalities. They're different. All your kids are different. If you got more than one kid, they're different, and if you got one kid, her personality is definitely going to change over the years. They're
Mm-hmm.
not going to be the same 3-year old when they're
For sure.
13. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have different, things that happen to them. So just make sure you do that. And as I said again, on the same page, y'all. Baby mamas, baby daddies, I don't care about none of that. I'm just saying y'all are parents. Both
And
of
have
y'all
a
are
plan
parents.
and stick to it. That's it.
Have a plan. Write it down, as we said in our last.
If it works for you, because writing it down for me is working
Write it
big time.
down, okay? Write it down. That's what I say. That's my advice. I would say that, yes, if it works for you, yeah, blah blah blooky boo. But we say write it down because it helps. When you see something that you wrote down. But just always be with your kids. Spend time with your children. We didn't get into that kind of conversation, but just always remember that being on the same page as a parent is key, especially when it comes to undermining each other,
Mm-hmm.
or when it comes to you showing favoritism to the other child.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean?
We can't
Like,
say words like that out loud.
yeah, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
have conversations, make decisions together, and then present them to the children. They ain't gonna know y'all talked about it before. They kids, they don't think that deep. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
just make sure you have that conversation together and don't be afraid to explain things to your children. And with that, y'all, is our show.
Yes.
Okay.
One more comment, which was super funny to me, and that's why I burst out laughing earlier. If dad says yes, I'll tell them daddy was just playing. You don't gotta be like that. Ah, shucks.
My kids would never believe that. I'm sorry. Maybe for your dynamic in your household, but my kids would never believe that. They know daddy ain't playing. They know when I'm
No,
playing.
today you said something about the shower, and Harmony said, "Are you playing right now? Or are you for real?" That's so
She's
funny to
just
me.
she's just goofy. whatever. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. We will be back next Wednesday for We Ain't Goes, and we thank y'all so much. As I said before, Too Bad Zumba. Make sure you go follow that page. Go follow at Taz of Too Deep, and We Ain't Goes on Facebook and YouTube as well. All our social
Instagram.
media
Yep.
pages, Instagram, and all that. Thank you so much. We love y'all, and thanks for tuning in to We Ain't Goes. We will see y'all next week. Thank you.
See y'all.